Somebody just emailed me something about the AI. Here's what I think is going on with AI. I think they've grown and took a piece of a human brain and they grew it in a dish, petri dish, and they tied a computer to it, and the AI is tied to a brain that's in a dish, or they tied it to a mouse or a dog or a cat or something. Because I've talked to that AI kind of extensively just to see how it thinks, and I've also talked to the AIs about 2 years ago just to see how they think, and they're out thinking a human in many ways, but I don't think it's possible to outthink a human unless a person just doesn't exercise their mind. Because actually every human has a holographic mind. They don't know it, but they have a holographic mind. I just did the video this morning and uploaded it about Adam and Eve. And so I went to this restaurant just now, and somebody walks up with their name tag. They walk up with their name tag, and their name tag had Adam on it. It reflected back. Now, before I went in there, I pictured in my mind a smooth process. I would go in there, I would get my food, I would find a place to sit, get in there and get out. So I actually created the scene in my mind before I did it, and it worked out smooth. I've done this experiment many times. I'm gonna try it some more. But the holographic mind should be exercised by every human being, but the distractions and the drama, see, the purpose of the drama. And before I say that, I'm going to do an Adam and Eve series. I'm going to unfold what happened with Eve and the devil and how they went into the death cult and all that stuff. And so that Genesis 3 story explains everything in front of you right now. What happened in Genesis 3 is happening right now in front of you. And so I'm just going to logically unfold it, holographically unfold it, fractally unfold it, rightly dividing the word, using scripture from memory in Ephesians and looking at patterns all over the place. So the patterns are everywhere. The truth is everywhere. And you know it's true because if Jesus went to the cross 2,000 years ago, how can you get saved today if you weren't there watching it? So it's happening right now. It's always happening. The Lamb slain before the foundation of the world. So what happened 2,000 years ago actually happened before the foundation of the world, and it's actually happening right now. It's not that he's being crucified over and over, but that same storyline. By faith, you go outside of time back to the cross. You step out of time back to the cross. So it's not that story's repeating, it's that you are at the cross, at the moment of crossing. You're at the crossroad every moment of every day. You're at a crossroad. Every decision you make is a crossroad. So it's not that the cross is happening over and over, it's that you're happening over and over, and you're having these points. You're having these, so here's a crossroad. Here's an intersection. I can either go left, I can go straight, or I can take a right. Every moment in your life is a crossing. Every conversation, every thought, everything is a choice. So let me say it again. It is finished. He was crucified once. So that's not happening over and over. That's the 0 point. He went to the cross, the Lamb slain. So what's happening? Everything's revolving around that. Everything's a projection from that. Everything's happening based on that. So if you look out in front of you, there's the upright tree. There's the upright pole. Jesus went to the cross. It's upright, right? And so That's why the word right means right. I took a right. That's where the word left is not right. And that's why the Democrats are not right, because they're on the left. Because they're not right. That's why when they say word up, they say word up and not word down. Because Jesus went up, rose again. And so that's why this grass is growing up. Everything's moving up. God's creation is a recreation, and it's moving you up to the new state. You're rising up. If you want to rise up. Now, some people are going down because they reject Jesus. The only way you're going to float up out of this water system that we're in, because you're breathing water, actually. It's an atmosphere. The only way you're going to float up out of this place is faith alone in Jesus alone. Otherwise, you're going down. Going down. Water puts out the fire, right? Quenches the fire. Washing of the water of the word cleanses. Water has hydrogen in it. It's a cleansing element. You cut your hand, you put hydrogen peroxide on your hand. Anyway. The system is a system. The system is a stem. And so Eve was a piece cut off from Adam, right? And so she responds to Adam. And so the system responds to you. It's a feedback loop. And so you should be able to use your holographic mind, because your mind is holographic. You should be able to use your holographic mind to rightly divide this place. It's really easy. Once you start, you can't stop. You see it everywhere. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. All these cars have 4 wheels. 4 wheels. Why don't they have 3? Why don't they have 5? 5 is superabundance. 5 is the power. I can't grasp without my thumb. The 5th element, the 5th wheel, is superabundance. The 5th wheel is not needed. Four wheels is enough to transport you. Where are you transporting to? You're transporting to superabundance. That bird right there is hunting. He's in the mode of hunt and gather, hunt and gather, hunt and gather. And that's what you should be in. You hunt for the truth. You gather up the pieces. You hunt for the truth and you gather the pieces. And then you can rightly divide the pieces and see the whole. And once you do that, you start to get a holographic mind. Because if you take 1 divided by 2, that's a fraction, which means a piece. But the 1 is a whole number and the 2 is a whole number. 1 divided by 2, and it gives you 0.5. 0.5 is a decimal or a piece, but the number 5 is a whole. So you use the whole to see the pieces, and the pieces reveal the whole. You got to have whole numbers to see the pieces, and you got to have pieces to see the whole. They're connected. They're connected. Adam and Eve are connected. You and the system are connected. Your mind is spirit. Your mind is spirit is connected to the system. It responds to you.